Oh, and that is how we get down. What is good, everybody? Hopefully, you all enjoyed Monday Night Raw, the go home Raw before Saturday night's main event this coming weekend. Now, if you're new to our little brand here, this is called The Last Word, part of the Behind the Turnbuckle BTT Studios universe. We break down everything in the Raw, SmackDown atmosphere, if you want to call it that. And we talk about the good, we talk about the bad. If you want to be a part of the show, you can do it via a super sticker in the chat. Producer man will let me know, and we will read your question and or your opinion. Now, joining me as they always do every single Monday night, let's bring them on. 32 years inside of the WWE. Please say hello to Big Tommy C. Big Tommy, what's up?
What's happening, Coach? What's happening, Gabby? And this is the go home to Saturday night's main event, and I can't wait till we get into everything.
And I can't wait to hear what Gabby has to say about qualifying matches and all of the fake injuries tonight or not. Good evening, Gabby.
Hi, guys. I missed you so much. I'm so happy to be back. A whole week is a long time away from you guys.
It really is. And you almost sounded sincere. I mean, I almost believed you. But if you've been following Gabby on social media, she's been a jet setter. She's been hanging out with big superstars at shows. Yep. I feel like she needs to announce a signing or something somewhere. Did you get signed by any wrestling organization this week?
Well, listen, guys, was I signed? No, but do I have some big things coming up in the next couple weeks that you actually don't even know about? 1,000%, and I can't wait to talk to you about it once it's out.
You can't announce it here on the show?
No, I can't announce it yet. It's nothing to announce, but
okay.
You'll see some exciting things coming in the next few weeks.
Okay.
To talk about.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, let's get into it. The chat is already popping. You guys are amazing. You find us every single Monday night. And of course, Tommy, is your wife messing with the Wi-Fi because she's pissed off at me right now?
No, not at all. I was wondering what the hell happened there.
Well, Gabby, before we started, Tommy's wife, who worked for 36 years for the WWE, I didn't realize that she was just off camera. And I may or may not have made a comment about her to Tommy and his son. And she was just off camera, and she heard my comment.
It's a bro code thing, by the way. I think that's more Tommy's fault. It's like if someone's on speakerphone, you're supposed to say like, "Oh, I'm on speaker," before you start the conversation, so everyone knows what you can and can't talk about. So actually,
we put the heat on the intern, so it doesn't matter. We put the heat on the intern.
Yeah, we did. So Gabby, I'll start the show just because Raw was so bad. This story is actually more entertaining than stuff that happened on Raw tonight. Gabby, this is a true story.
Okay,
my hand to God on my kids. Years and years ago, before you were probably even born.
Yeah,
probably.
There were phones on jet airplanes that you could run a credit card through a phone and call down to earth. That actually was a thing back in the day. So Tommy and his lovely wife, one of my favorite people in all of the world, Michelle, actually their son DJ'd my wedding. That's how far we go back. I met their son when he was 7.
Yeah.
And he's now, what, 33, 34?
I'm friends with his son. He's awesome.
33.
All right.
33.
You know little Tommy. Yeah. So that's how long I've known the Carlucci's. So I'm a little awkward telling this story, but it happened a long time ago. I'll be okay. So we are 15 minutes from touchdown. We are flying to Seattle for Monday Night Raw. We are entertaining one of the famous pilots who saved an entire plane of people back in the day. And we're doing a big thing at Raw. So Michelle, for some reason, had to fly next to me. So I got her a first class seat right next to mine.
That's nice.
It was nice, wouldn't you say? However, she was on the window. I was on the aisle. Okay. So we're only about 15 minutes from touching down or so. And I'm laying there and I'm waking up and she's got 9 credit cards out in her hand. She's just ripping them through the phone, just one after another. Nothing's working. It's kind of like now when you do the whole, hey, if you want to watch Apple Music on a flight, you can either buy the Wi-Fi for the $9.99. Back then, you just start the credit card, right?
No.
Nothing's working. So I drift off back to sleep. I think everything's over. Do you know what I woke up to, Gabby?
No.
to a woman, looked very much like Tommy's wife, straddling me on the airplane. That's right. Straddling me on the airplane.
What?
We were in the bulkhead. So, when you got the wall in front of you, my feet were up on the wall. She's now straddling me, facing me. Very awkward. Very awkward. So now I've got all of this in front of me. What do? My boy's back in Connecticut. I'm like, this is very awkward.
Yeah.
So she stops. She's frozen because now I'm awake. What are you doing? Or should I ask you, what are we doing? And so she's like, oh, stop it. I got to go talk to the flight attendant. That's how she talks. So
I like her already.
Oh, you would love her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She terrifies me. So she gets over from me. I kid you not. I see her talking to the flight attendant about 4 feet away. We're in the bulkhead. We're in row number 1 of first class. And I see the flight attendant going, no. She comes back and she goes, very frustrating. And I said, what's the matter? She goes, they won't get the pilot, the captain, to come check on the phones to call Tommy from my seat.
Oh my!
And I looked at her and I said, he's flying the damn plane. And guess how long we were before landing, Gabby?
Not long.
12 minutes. 12 minutes on a 6-hour flight. And she had to choose then and only then to straddle your boy, use 9 credit cards that didn't work, and bother the pilot on our descent into Seattle, Tacoma.
Gabby, the balls the size of Texas, my wife has.
I kind of love her already. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you guys would get along great. I'm telling you.
Oh, there's no doubt that you would. I still have PTSD. There's times I wake up in the middle of the night and I wake up and go, ah!
I like Coach. All this is in front of me.
Yeah, it's like all of this. You know what I mean?
That is amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
amazing.
and there's on all honesty, I have a 16-year-old daughter. She's the light of my life. Who do you think the first 2 adults to meet my daughter were in this lifetime?
Tommy and his wife.
Yes, it was. Tommy and his wife were the first 2 adults to meet my lovely daughter. Yes. Yeah. That's how long we go back. So you can imagine my awkwardness when my wife at the time is now with our baby and I'm introducing her to Michelle after all that I just told you about. Very awkward.
I love it. I love it so much. It makes for a good story, though. That's all that matters.
All right, let's get into tonight. I've wasted a good 10 minutes. And so did they tonight on Monday Night Raw several times. So, Gabby, let me come over to you. I want to be positive. I don't want to be negative. I'm in a good mood. What was your favorite part of Raw tonight?
Roxanne getting over. I'm a huge Roxanne fan. I wanted her to win that qualifying match. I like how they did it because, you had Becky in there as well. You didn't make Becky look weak. I know they don't like to have, them kind of lose. So they had Lyra come in, continue that storyline, beat the crap out of her, which left it open for Roxanne to win and qualify for Money in the Bank. Because Money in the Bank is one of those for me. I want to see new blood. I want it to be young people who are going to have a big year. Becky doesn't need to be in that match. So it made sense for it to be Roxanne. I'm really high on her. I'm excited that she's finally on Raw.
Let me ask you real quick, because a lot of these, this sounds so racist. A lot of these women look the same to me, and I don't mean it like that. But who was the young lady that got signed in the very kind of cringe segment with the GM of Raw? Who's the GM of Raw?
Pierce. It was her.
Yeah,
Roxanne.
Pierce. Oh, Roxanne. It was Roxanne, right? That's what I thought.
So she had that tag partner, Julia, who also came out from NXT, and Julia's officially on SmackDown now. They broke up already, and Roxanne's on Raw.
It's on Raw. Okay. All right. So I was doing, because somebody's got to be out here promoting the brand. I was doing a really big podcast. It'll come out in the next couple of weeks. You guys will see it. But as I'm watching on my phone, as I'm doing a podcast, I'm like, oh. And I was like, to me, it's kind of cringe. Maybe as a female, it's not to you, Gabby. What? But when he's going, oh, congratulations. No. Oh, it's official. I'm like, oh, stop it already. Tommy, was it cringe to you? Because it wasn't cringe to Gabby.
Yeah, I think Pierce is a little creepy. And by the way, Roxanne's a very good looking woman. So And I think Pierce is a little creepy looking to me. All this is the perfect GM. He handles it well. This guy screams in your face, and he's making like when he was even giving her the contract, he's like doing her a favor or something like that. Not because of her merits, of how she works in the ring or how she looks and how she's going to be moving forward on Raw. He was a little creepy tonight, Coach. I'm not going to lie to you.
Thank you, Tommy, for validating my feelings. Now, the other part of it, when you do this to a dude, you don't do this to a female superstar like you're shaking your hand. Oh, here you. Weird. It was the whole thing.
Yeah.
The way that was shot was weird. Absolutely weird. Now, how they went off the air was interesting because I keep saying that unless they're pushing Logan Paul to the moon, they are making a mistake. So that's one thing that WWE is doing right, Gabby. And tonight, just when you thought the whole schmoz with Punk and Zayn and Seth and Braun Breaker was over, then we come back to Jey Uso. Boom! Logan Paul lays him out in the ring. That's the kind of finish. Last week, they didn't put it on Raw. This week, they fixed that mistake, and that's how we went off the air. Did you like that, Gabby?
I love that. We always talk about how good Logan is. I'm loving that Logan is like, you kind of almost forget about it because there's so much going on with Jay and Sammy and Braun and Seth. And then all of a sudden you think the show's ending. Boom. Logan is like that annoying thing that you just can't get rid of. And he always just shows up, like knocks him out, and then that's it. And then we end the show, and like I love that because I'm like, he's just an ass, and you just hate him, and he just comes in. It's like 2-3 weeks now. He's just knocking Jay out, and he's like, all right, I'm out now. See you later. Like it's perfect, I think, for what he does.
Coach, you know what the best part of that segment was Heyman.
Tell me why.
Well, tell you why? Because the way he sells, the way he was baiting Jey Uso, the way he was throwing the jacket, and I'm like, I'm waiting for Braun to give him a big old hammer time, and it ended up being Seth Rollins. But Heyman is so good at what he does; he makes it so believable. Throws the jacket out, he's like, okay, now I'm ready for you, mofo, and bam, freaking Rollins comes on and just hammers him. I think Heyman saved that segment a little bit.
You know what I love about Logan Paul so much is to be a really great heel. And I mean, we all remember the kind of heel I was.
Yes.
To really be a great heel, you've got to do stuff that other people would go, damn, that pisses me off, but I kind of wish that I could do it. And have you noticed lately on his podcast, he's getting some of the biggest stars in the world. Like he just had Tom Brady last week. Yeah. So every mark at home, every fan watching Raw tonight, as he's doing quotes. Do you see his quote? They all want to be fired recently. And it takes a set of stones to talk about stars that just got released and go, you can't fire the future world heavyweight champion. That takes stones. Mm-hmm. And I like it. And then when you're sitting with the GOAT, there's nothing these fans can say except, damn, that guy right there last week was sitting 5 feet from Tom Brady. That's what makes him, Gabby, such a great heel, because he does everything that normal people wish they could do but can't. And his better half, he overachieved in that marriage too. There's nothing this man can't do.
No. And I mean, he's known by... He's worldwide in the sense of like other athletes know him, celebrities know who he is. So it's like he reaches a certain level that even the best superstars sometimes don't. They had Tyrese on tonight talking about basketball, whatever, and he's like, oh, Logan's my boy because I don't like. He mentions Logan even though he's like, but I want Jay to win, like because he knows Logan and he's friends with him. That's not every single celebrity and superstar that comes on Raw or Netflix doesn't know every single WWE superstar. Logan knows everybody. He has everybody on his podcast, and he's known even if you're not a pro wrestling fan, which a lot of these superstars aren't, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. If you're not in that realm of pro wrestling, they don't know them.
Yep. It's interesting, Tommy, because we head towards Saturday night's main event. We're heading into historically the slowest part of the year for the WWE. It's normally when you have the releases, we just had those. It's normally when you have the draft. God willing, we don't have that. And it's also where you try out new young talent to see who's going to get over. So now we've got a Saturday night's main event that Logan Paul will be taking on Jey Uso. Now, they've got to get creative with how they're going to do this match because you want both guys to be standing strong when the night is over. But Jey Uso cannot lose the world heavyweight title for many, many months. You saw how the finish tonight. You knew somebody was going to get involved. But Tommy, you can't do that every single time. So how important in your mind is it for them to get incredibly creative to protect some of these guys that you're trying to elevate, like a Logan Paul?
Well, it really is important to get to protect these two guys, especially Jay in this instance, because he needs to keep the championship. Logan could still go on and be the badass heel and still carry what he carries the way he does it because who he is. So I want to see how creative they really get because they haven't been creative lately, Coach. And that's what worries me about that. Is it going to be another run in? Maybe it's his brother that runs in and turns on his brother Jay. There's a storyline right there. That could happen and make Logan go over, but really gets disqualified because his brother jumps in the ring and turns on his own brother. That's a storyline right there. But you're right. Are they going to get creative and find out how they're going to do this? Unless they're going to repeat these guys 2 or 3, because you said it's the slow time, but it's really, they're hot right now because they got Money in the Bank coming. They got that AAA thing coming. They got Saudi Arabia coming. They got a lot of stuff coming in the next month or so. So they really got to ramp this thing up and see where they're going to go with this whole thing.
What is wrong with you? They're hot right now. Oh, Coach, they're hot right now. Just because they have a few shows coming up, they're hot right now. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? They don't know how they're going to fill out those cards. They don't know. Oh, go ahead, Tommy. Ruin my flow, please.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Go ahead.
All right, so let's talk about, because the Logan J. Uso, I don't even think, do you think that's going to be the main event, or is it going to be R-Truth and John Cena in a, don't advertise that there's going to be something happening, a non-title matchup? Gabby, back when me and Tommy were there, if it was a non-title matchup, you were just putting a blinking red light going, something's happening there, and they're doing it again.
Yeah. I think Jay Logan has to be the main event because I do think there's going to be some kind of distraction and a run-in of some kind because I think you don't want to make Logan look weak in any way, and obviously you need to do what you have to do for Jay, but like if R-Truth loses clean, like it is what like it's kind of funny because that's like what we're doing anyway. It's R-Truth and that's just who he is, and like he just got put through a table by Cena. Like I don't see that being main event because I'm like, that's what I think is going to happen. We're not going to see R-Truth win. So unless, God, I don't know. I don't know how things are booked. But I think it would be Logan Jay because I want to see Logan win Money in the Bank, in my opinion. So, like, I think they need to keep building him for him to win Money in the Bank because I think that it's his time now. And I think just him bringing that briefcase around with him everywhere he goes and doing whatever he does is going to get that briefcase and this insanely over everywhere he does it. So like I think that would be the best thing for them to do.
Can you imagine he's carrying that briefcase on his podcast, on his private jet, everything that normal people can't do.
His TV show that he has with his whole family, his brother who's a professional boxer, like going to the ring, doing all these things. Like
his brother's a professional boxer?
His brother's a boxer, Jake.
Who?
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's a boxer? A
fighter.
Really?
Is he? I don't like when you do this. You're very bad at this. I'm just talking. I get into my conversation. You like to halt me with your shit sometimes.
And he does have a match coming up. He does.
Yeah.
He does have a fight coming up. And his brother's really good at picking guys with names that aren't really good fighters. Because the guy he's fighting, his dad was a legend. The son, not so much. But they've both done incredible jobs and Tommy and Gabby too. When you think about the promotion game and the prize fighting game or the wrestling game, it's all about promotion. And right now on the male side, nobody's better than Logan Paul. On the female side, I'm trying to figure out what happened to Chelsea Green because she at WrestleMania didn't have a match. Rumors were she asked about it, which you should be allowed to do. And now, am I missing something? Either one of you? Is she involved at all in the main event this Saturday? Nothing, right?
No.
Gabby, how is that possible? Gabby, how do you have the most entertaining female and arguably male on the roster, and you're not using her?
I don't get it. I say this all the time. She is the most, not even the most entertaining female, the most entertaining person in pro wrestling today. like, period, the end. I don't understand. I remember when it was like the rumors were like, oh, they were going to have an open challenge for Chelsea at WrestleMania for Alexa Bliss or Nikki Bella to answer. I was like, I would have loved that. She should have been somewhere. She should have hosted something. Just her personality being there, like talking about something. I don't care what she's doing. She is such money no matter what she's doing on my screen, that the fact that she's not there, the fact that she's not going to be at Money in the Bank because she already lost her qualifying, like, I don't get it, because I think she's incredible at everything she does, and she's so creative and she's so funny. It actually makes me angry, because in a division right now where they need a lot of help, and you don't have that many huge, people showing up for women's matches and things to look forward to, when you have a star like Chelsea Green shining, I don't understand why you're dimming the light for that. I really don't get it.
We have got to a situation in the WWE that, I don't want to use the word sabotage, Tommy, but Gabby just very well laid out what's going on in the women's division. And to me, and this sounds really harsh, there are certain powers at play here that are willing to sacrifice certain shows, ending of shows, events, in order to make a point in the power play. We saw it with Rock and the end of WrestleMania. Nothing else was talked about but the end of WrestleMania. 13 other matches not talked about at all because of that finish. And now you're starting to see more of the same. And for some reason, something's going on backstage that Chelsea, you can't tell me, Tommy, she doesn't have heat with somebody. And they're willing to sacrifice an incredible talent that could be on the show, either one, SmackDown or Raw, and help the show. And they're not using her over what?
I don't know, Coach, but she's the most entertaining woman superstar right now. Could you imagine if she won a qualifying match and won Money in the Bank, carrying that case around, how many creative things she could do? They're holding her down. Her creativity holding her down. Her social media, she does a million different things. Why would you hold the talent? And that it not only elevates her, it elevates everybody, Coach. Everybody. And they're holding her down. And it's a travesty, a talent like that, and a talent like Karrion Kross, who thinks of stuff all the time, is being held down because I'm the guy with the big finger. I'm the guy that's going to hold you down because I said so. And I'm going to do it until I tell you you're ready to go. It's just ridiculous.
Did you see what Karrion Kross did the other day? I was embarrassed for him. He literally put out, and I'm the biggest Karrion Kross fan there is. This dude is as entertaining as they come. And he put out a video talking about how they're going to start selling his T-shirt in the arenas, that he had to actually go talk to executives, that he got so many DMs and tweets asking about his shirts in the arenas, and he had to go, he didn't use the word beg, but the fact, Gabby, he had to put out a video saying, hey, they're going to sell my T-shirts in the arena now. That should be a given. This guy is over like Rover, and you're putting him at breaks? You're doing interviews at breaks, and now he has to beg for his own T-shirt when people want it's. I don't know what's really going on, but Gabby, right now, you can't tell us, and we're not stupid. These people are not stupid. When you leave a talented person on the bench, there's a reason for it. What do you think it is with Karrion Kross?
I could not tell you, because even when he was released originally, when he was first released, I was like, wow. Because NXT Karrion Kross was one of the most over things that we had seen in NXT. Like, he was a beast. He was a monster. And you can't tell me his look isn't such an incredible look. He's this massive dude. He's so good, and he's so scary. And like, Scarlett is perfect with him, with what they did, like the timing of the clock. Like, I loved it. It was so unique. She's such a good compliment to him. And I love that they're actually together in real life, because it makes you more invested in what they do. And now he came back, and we were like, all right, this is going to be it. Triple H is going to know what to do with Karrion Kross. He brought him back. And it's kind of just been flat. And now everything he's done himself. And he's getting himself so over, and he's so good at what he's doing. But like, you're not giving him the opportunity. But yet there is other people I watch, and I'm like, why am I seeing this person again? And I don't care. I don't even know this person's real name, to be quite honest.
You're exactly right.
I don't care. Because like every week you're feeding them to me and I have no emotional investment whatsoever. This person I have emotional investment and you're going to just talk to him in a commercial break. So I don't even know what he said and I don't even know what's going on now. And it's an interview, but like, who cares? It's sad for the fans because you put them out in front of the fans and you see the reaction. So it's like, why don't you do that? Put them out in front of the fans, see the reaction they get. And then you can't say you can't put them out there because
so smart.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
The fans are going to react to who they like and react to what they want. And then you can't say shit because, sorry, I cursed again. Oh,
that's okay. We're not on Stadium right now. You're allowed to curse.
Oh God.
We're a little bit of a break right now, so it's all right.
Coach, Coach, you know what the problem is? The problem is that he's more creative than the top head content guy. That's the problem, and it's jealousy. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
You're right. More creative than everybody there. It's the same thing what they did with Bray Wyatt. So creative, and they kept him down. If you watch that documentary, you can see how many ideas he came across, and they just shot him down for no damn reason, and it's pissing me off. Karrion Kross is on that level of Bray Wyatt, guys.
There's been years and years and years of talent complaining, but it's become so commonplace, nobody listens to it anymore. But when you've been there as long as we have and inside watching really talented people, and this is a tweet he put out tonight. Hell yeah. Imagine telling your 12-year-old self you'd have your own shirt next to Stone Cold's one day. Again, you guys made this happen. Hashtag WWE Raw. So good for him. Now let's start using him. There you see it on the screen. Thank you, intern Dan. Let's start using these guys because right now we did today on Coach and Bro. We tried to name how many superstars, and I want you guys to do this same little poll, I guess. We said, how many superstars right now does the WWE have on either show that if you put them on the marquee, they're selling tickets? They're really selling tickets because they're going through this whole situation again where the price of the ticket, Mark Shapiro, who's the only guy that can talk about it at TKO, is making up new stuff, clearly out of touch with what really is going on. Don't know if you guys seen what SummerSlam is doing, but the tickets are astronomical yet again. How many names do you think me and Vince Russo came up with today that legitimately, you put them on the marquee, they're selling a ticket?
That's a tough one, Coach. I'd say about 3 or 4, and that's it.
I was going to say 3.
3.
We got to 7. But we took out anybody that was not full-time. So Roman Reigns out. John Cena out. The 2 women we said was Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. We said they're going to sell a ticket, we think.
Yeah.
Then on the men's side, we gave Seth Rollins the nod, Cody, Randy the nod, Jey Uso, and CM Punk. And that was it. That was it. Because to me, if you're not going to show up every 3 or 4 months, now it's, well, Triple H loves our work-life balance. But part of the reason that we talked about it is, listen to this, guys. We had 2 people in the chat today that recently went to SmackDown. They bought tickets because of who was on the poster and on the advertisement. Cody, Bianca, and one other one.
They weren't there.
None of the 3 were there.
Nope.
And that's the disconnect, Gabby, that we talk about. When you've got a marketing team for a company that doesn't know the company they're working for. Yeah. They don't know that you can't just throw up John Jones and Conor McGregor and say that when you're talking about shows and events, it's got to be talent that's going to be there. You can't do that because then everybody's going to ask for a refund. But that's been happening, according to our chat, more and more. Wow. And that's another disconnect, Gabby. It can't happen. And it's happening several times.
No, I mean, could you imagine in any other, realm of entertainment if they did that and they put up bands or they put up, celebrities that were going to on the poster and then you show up and none of them are there? You would be like, I want my money back. I just spent all this money for this event and I'm looking at the poster. Of course, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but if it's advertised, how am I going to sit here and be like, I was not expecting that? But also, if you don't have people at the same level of their level to at least even it out for you, then that's a bigger problem. Because listen, I love Bianca, but if I saw Rhea, okay, then I see Rhea if I'm not expecting it. Because, I think they're at that high level of things. Cody, okay, I don't see Cody, but I see Punk. Okay, but that's not happening all the time. It's not always there. We don't see, unfortunately, we have been seeing a lot of Punk. We don't see him every single week. Rhea just qualified, but she's not in line for a title match right now on Raw. We don't even know what's going on with the Raw title match. We have Rio has been teaming with Io. No one's like gunning for Io with this title. The women's division needs so much help, and it makes me sad because there's so many talented women in that division that the fact that they're not having Io didn't even have a match tonight.
I just don't
on Raw tonight.
But I'm so glad you said. I think you used the word care, didn't you? You word care.
I always say that word.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you said care because Tommy, this story came across, as I prepare to produce and write the show, as I do with every show that we do. And did you guys hear what Alexa Bliss said? Did you guys hear about this?
No.
So she recently came back, as many of us know, right? And we all have our issues. You've got, your work-life balance. You got your family, and a lot of these women have taken time off to have kids. Well, this should be very interesting to see if Corey Graves' better half opens her mouth again, because apparently they've set up a daycare situation backstage for Alexa Bliss to bring her baby to work while she's working on Raw or SmackDown. And she said, they've been great. I have a great area and I'm allowed to bring her, and it's the best of both worlds. Can you imagine, Tommy, approaching Vince McMahon and going, hey, Vince, we're thinking about re-signing X, and she's got a little one now and doesn't want to leave her at home with daycare. Can we bring her on the – oh, hell yeah. In fact, let's set up a daycare for her. In fact, let's bring in a nanny in the first half of the day, and then we'll tag team them out in the second half. Now, Gabby, you should know that other people have brought their kids to the show. Mm-hmm. But they have a bus outside that the kids stay in. Triple H, John Cena has no kids, but you guys get my point. They have a space. Tommy, let me come back to you. A daycare backstage? Backstage?
Let me see. We got Vince's office and we have the daycare next to Vince's. Are you friggin' kidding me? That ain't happening on our best day, Coach. You say you want to have a kid? That's your problem. You got to take care of it. You got to show up to work, or else you're out. And the fact of the matter, they're doing this for her. And how about Carmella? She had a baby. They didn't do that for her, right? So
she made the rounds.
Yeah. Yep.
She made the rounds. She went on talk shows and accused the WWE of using the baby to not rehire her.
Yep. And look what they did for Alexa.
That's it. But maybe you don't make that point a week or two before you announce your second pregnancy, because then it rings hollow. Because congratulations to the Graves, they're having their second child.
Yeah.
But you get the point that if you're Carmelo and you see that, Gabby, what are you thinking as a mom?
Yeah, it's got to be hurtful because I also think it's different pressures. Like, I'm not a mom, I'm a woman, but I'm not a mom. I've never been pregnant before, and I've never worked in a grueling industry where to take time, you have to literally take time off because your work is physical as well. So I don't know, but that has to be hard for her to hear, because also you almost want, at least for me, if you lose your job or something happens, you want to blame it on one thing because it makes you feel better to be that's why. And it's sad because maybe that wasn't really the reason why then, and that's just an easier, knife for her to fall on or whatever it's called. So it's kind of sucks all around because it's kind of, she made those rounds saying that. And now Alexa's well, they did it for me. So it's kind of one of those things where it kind of sucks to be a girl in that sense. If you're,
I can only imagine. But let me ask you this.
How much that sucks.
Let me ask you this. You were out in Vegas and she was advertised on all these different things.
Yeah,
then at the last minute, she was pulled off of everything. So I'm a little bit confused on how she went from being pulled off everything, advertisements, and now re-signed, and not only re-signed, but re-signed, and you're going to negotiate in a daycare backstage.
Well, my thing, were you talking to me or Tommy? Because I know.
Yeah, Gabby, you were there.
Where I was confused about the whole Alexa thing is she showed up at the Rumble. So she comes to the Rumble with a huge pop, and everyone's she got the new contract. They worked so hard for it. She resigned, blah, blah. And then we see nothing. In Vegas, she's nowhere to be found. She's taken out of everything. So I'm was that the one thing in the contract that she needed to come back?
Can you imagine?
And that's why she's now back because of that? Because what else would it be? I really don't know. And now she's getting the massive push. She's at the Money in the Bank. She just qualified. She's doing all these things. So, like, you missed WrestleMania for that. I don't know. But that, and, like, I don't know her personally. I don't know how these things go on. But could you imagine if that was possibly the reason or something? Maybe there was complications. I don't know. I don't want to, like, make conclusions. But it is crazy because she was nowhere to be found in Vegas. I don't even think she was there.
I know. She was advertised for everything, and then they pulled her off everything. So imagine this scenario. You're negotiating back and forth. And most people in wrestling, Gabby, they don't have agents. Some do now, but back in the day, Vince just wouldn't deal with agents.
Yeah.
So Rock and Stone Cold, they all do their own thing. Can you guys imagine Alexa Bliss is sitting on one side of the table? You got whoever does the contracts on the other side. Okay. $300,000. Okay. All right. We can do that. 8 weeks off a year. Okay. Got it. Daycare backstage. Excuse me? Deal breaker.
Listen, I think it's an amazing thing. I will say, I think it's being a woman and, like, having it is a cool thing for them to have. If it's true and that's how it is, it probably takes a lot of pressure off these women having children. Like, I'm not mad about it. I know it's different for you. You guys have to, I'm seeing it from a different perspective as you guys. You guys were in it in a very different time. So I'm now seeing it, and I get what you're saying. It is crazy because, like, if Vince was around, that would not even fly. But I've never given birth and had a child, like, what it does to your body and, like, what you have to do after, like, and to be able to bring your kid to work, especially if your husband's in the business with you, so he can't be home with your child and he's traveling with you. It's a cool thing. I think
you know what it did to my body when I
have
2 kids. Do you know what it did to my body? Why does it always have to be just the female?
Because we push them out, Coach.
I pregnant eated.
Well, that's a choice for you. I don't care. My best friend is pregnant right now, and what she's going through is actually, like, it's the closest I've ever come to, like, seeing someone pregnant and going through it. And, like, I can barely understand it. Men will never be able to feel, like, what pregnancy is like. And these are women that are in the public eye that it's like, when are they coming back? Now they had a kid. They pushed out. When are they coming back? When are they going to get back in shape? Are they going to be fat after having a baby? Like, the pressures are crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Sorry. I'm not even laughing at you. I'm laughing at the day that my daughter was born. This really happened. Happened. So my best friend, his name's Todd Grisham. He used to be in the WWE. He's now the voice of DAZN. He does all the big boxing events. He's like the best friend you could ever have. So my wife at the time, she goes into labor, and we're in the hospital. It seemed like forever. He sits out in the waiting room for hours, all by himself, like the best friend ever. Well, he starts to get a little bit impatient. Let's call it that. So finally, she's pushing out my daughter. And as my daughter comes out, I kid you not, you couldn't write this any better timing wise. Leg still up, Kiana out, door comes flying open. Is the baby here yet?
Oh my.
If you could imagine what the devil's voice might sound like, that was my wife. It was simply this: legs up, looks over, and she didn't like him anyway. Looks over, get out. Swear to God. And
that would never happen now, by the way. They don't let anyone in the delivery room to, like, open up the door if you're not the husband or.
They had like a big suite. It was like a birthing suite. So yeah, it was crazy. And like, we laugh about it to this day. And it was like, literally, she turned into like an 85-year-old man. Get out.
Yeah, I would lose my fucking mind. I would lose it.
Oh, she did. She still brings it up. We've been divorced for 10 years. She still brings it up.
That's the reason for the divorce. Todd was the reason.
No doubt. Oh, my gosh. All right. That's going to really do it today. Final takes as we head towards Saturday night's main event. Gabby, start us. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Logan. I'm definitely looking forward to what's going to happen with Logan and Jay. I think they're really going down the right track with it so far, making Logan look like uber heel jerk. We hate him so much. And I'm very interested to see how they're going to make the finish of that match, because I don't think it's going to be a clean finish. So I'm excited to see how they're going to keep that storyline moving forward.
All right, Tommy.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens in that match. I'm also interested in that match and see what they do creatively, because you said that right at the top of the show. What can they possibly do to keep two guys on the same level without Jay losing his title, without Logan getting pinned clean? How are they going to make this work? I'm very interested to see how that happens. And maybe a guy named Heyman gets involved with this some way, somehow.
I just want something that gets me going again. I want something in my fandom. I've got to be into storylines, and I need 2 or 3. I don't need one to hang my hat on. And right now, maybe because we're all busy, maybe we're all, who knows? But right now, there's nothing really getting me going, and I want that to happen. So maybe a little nostalgia, maybe a little, is Jesse the Body calling this one? Do we know? Is he back for this one?
I think he is back.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, more commentary about me. But that's exactly.
Also,
right.
Before we go, prayers
Yes.
up for Zoe Starks, because I rewatched
Is it bad?
It's bad.
Is it really bad?
It looks like her knee. I rewatched it a little. Like the way it went in. I don't want to say torn ACL, but it looks like something like that. Which it was a very ugly injury. So
It's a year. That's a year. That's a year. And
I hope not. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. It looks bad, but
if it looks bad, it normally is bad.
Yeah,
It normally is. All right. Well done. Good luck, Gabby, on whatever you have going. We'll be watching for all of it in the next couple of weeks. Tommy, I'll see you Wednesday on Coaching Company. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I am actively trying to sign Baby Gabby and Baby Big Tommy. And they could show up on the shows very soon. Because Baby Coach Gabby, I know you don't watch Coaching Company, but
I've seen it.
You've seen Baby Coach?
The baby thing? It's amazing.
Not the baby thing, our Baby Bets thing. It's not we have
No, but like a lot of shows are doing the AI baby thing. So like I've seen a lot of shows. I saw your guys.
I'm aware of that. You act like I don't watch anything.
No, I know.
Like you're explaining it to me. No, I'm saying Baby Bets is ours.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people that are just making them out of stuff they do. We're actively using them as handicappers and signing them. And Baby Coach was the number one signing, and he nailed it today. I mean, the goatee at 6 months old is next level.
Baby Gabby's
absolutely next level.
Adorable. Are you kidding?
Oh, Baby Gabby is gonna. But I can't get her locked down to commit.
She's a lot.
She a lot.
Oh, you think I'm a lot? Baby Gabby's me times 10. She's got nothing to lose.
I have a feeling that. Oh gosh, I just got sent the knee injury. You're right. You're right. It's bad. Gabby, do you think that Baby Big Tommy is gonna have facial hair or not?
Yes, and I want the glasses too.
Oh my gosh!
And he'll be a better baby. Big Tommy will be better handicapper than Big Fat Tommy.
That really wouldn't take that much, Tommy. But that's neither here nor there. I'm looking for a full baby panel of Rant Wednesday too. I just want like 7 babies ranting on whatever,
and I cursing. Can they curse? Because Baby Gabby has a mouth like a trucker.
Baby Gabby has to curse.
Yeah,
it's got. Yeah. Can you imagine Baby Gabby complaining about Rhea and Bianca? Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't wait. That's gonna come up. All right, you guys, turn on your notifications. Follow our BTT page. Our page is growing so fast. Thank you to everybody. That's going to do it for now. We'll be back next Monday night for Gabby, Big Tommy, Intern Dan, Producer Man. I am the coach. This has been The Last Word, part of the BTT Studios universe. We'll see you next time. Take care.